Welcome back to my channel. So how cute is this top? Firstly, the light is on it, but it's a really cute top from the brand AYBL. They do have a massive discount on at the minute. I will put it down below. Feel free to use my support code. So today is episode, I want to say, is it episode 3? But it has been quite a while now since I've started my kind of bulk or caloric surplus. Now, a little bit of background, you can obviously flick through kind of my videos, but in probably January, like the start of Jan, I weighed myself and I was, I think, about 50 kilograms in weight. I was like borderline nearly 49, which is very, very light for me. Obviously it was because I was sick and I wasn't eating hardly any calories, so my genetics as well just mean that I lose weight very, very quickly if I don't continue to eat enough. So that's basically what happened. And then after, once I got a little bit better, I worked my way up in the gym and I put myself on a maintenance first, just making sure I'm eating enough calories, which is about 2,000 calories just to be at maintenance, making sure I'm hitting all those calories, making sure that I'm eating all my meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and my snacks as well. I'm eating roughly about 2,500 calories. Now, I have days where I continuously follow that to the T and I'm tracking to the T, and then I have a few days where I fall off. Not really fall off food, but fall off kind of tracking. But I'm quite good at kind of just knowing how much I should be eating now at 2,500. But it is sometimes good, especially if you've got like simple trackable meals, to just kind of plug them in and just track them, or highly recommend to follow a plan, like a meal plan already set for you. I've noticed quite a few things, so definitely getting stronger. Now I'm tracking, as well as my meals, I'm tracking all of my weights as well, which I've never properly done until like very recently. I'm tracking exactly what weight I'm doing, what rep I'm doing, so I can see what I did last week and I can increase it this week. And although if you're new, I encourage you to increase your weights every like 3 to 4 weeks if you can. If you're not new, or if you're at a level where it's quite easy for you, or it's quite hard for you to gain, but the weights are quite easy, I just encourage to increase it every week. I increase my weights literally every week now. You know your body better than anyone else, so sometimes I do feel a little bit weaker, or I feel like, you know what, that's the top end of the weight that I'm pushing today. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But most of the time I can increase my weights, or I can at least hit the top reps and the top weight that I was doing like the week before. So yeah, with eating in a caloric surplus, I have 110% noticed getting so stronger. I think this is the strongest that I've ever felt and been in my whole life. Obviously we had like the up and down with the pandemic and the gyms closing, so now I finally feel like I'm at a nice place and I'm increasing all my weights. I'm using proper techniques, but also not being afraid to just be exercising like 4 days a week instead of 5, and forcing myself to sometimes rest and not move on days that I maybe don't feel like it, or which is not many days, but you know, trying to, like, if I've got a busy day, I try and not squeeze in like a gym session in the morning and then having to rush to get ready. I just allow myself to take the day off, especially if I'm going to be out and about walking anyway and running errands. I've also noticed physically, actually let's say aesthetically, I've definitely noticed a little bit more gains. It's a little bit harder to notice gains for me personally than it is to notice strength. I guess strength is much easier to kind of track and kind of see. If you're lifting a little bit heavier than you were last week, you've got stronger. Using a measuring tape is a really good technique to measure certain areas of your body to see if you've gained or not. So I actually haven't done that, and probably do like an updated video, or on my Instagram do like an updated video, but it's only been, I guess, 2 months, but I feel like I still want to keep going until I can like measure my booty, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is a little bit harder to notice kind of physical goals and physical like gains, but I've definitely noticed my bum getting a little bit bigger, or at least a little bit like perkier. But then I don't know, that's like a hit and miss, because the more I look at my bum, I feel like it's always got smaller, even though it probably hasn't. But then lately I look at my bum like, oh, has it got bigger? Has it actually, is it growing? Has it actually got perkier? And again, I don't know if that's like the outfits that I'm wearing, obviously you can do before and after pics, and I can do those from like 5 years ago, but obviously doing my bulk in the neck, like for the last 2 months, I'm not as sure on like growth, but it's completely fine. Like I've only been doing this for 2 months and we're just in March, so I'd like to kind of keep going on with it and seeing how much kind of more gains that I can get. But like I do like the definition that I'm building. My legs are growing incredibly for the first time ever. I'm very glute dominant, so it does take me ages for my quads to grow. My glutes usually grow or take over all the exercises, and I can also notice the difference up here in like my shoulders. Obviously we're on a caloric surplus bulk, so abs and lean stomach is something that I'm definitely not looking for. I just want to gain some muscle and I want to gain some weight, but because I'm not on a really high caloric surplus, and because I'm doing it very healthily like I always do with nice whole foods, I haven't actually gained that much fat. Whereas the first bulk I did, I think because it was my first bulk, I went a little bit crazier. I did start to gain a little bit of back fat, a little bit of stomach, but now like I am always a little bit bloated. It's actually not very comfortable and pretty being on a bulk because you're eating loads, so you do need to go to the toilet a lot. I'm just being honest. So yeah, I am a little bit like bloated all the time. If I start gaining on my stomach, then so be it, and after I'll go back on a caloric maintenance and then eventually a cut, just so I can get a little bit leaner. But being strong and building muscle has always been kind of my main priority. That's my niche, that's what I help women with, and that's what I'm good at. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna wrap up this chat, but that is how I'm feeling. I haven't really given many stats or figures at this point because in all honesty I haven't measured myself. I haven't weighed myself either. But physically, I can see progress, and even more I can see progress in terms of my strength. So, you know, we'll see. But I've started on the creatine. So yeah, I will report back and let you know how that goes and how that affects my bulk and my muscle gain journey. And then yeah, hope you enjoyed this. I'll probably pop back with another muscle gain workout or what I eat in a day. But otherwise, don't forget to follow me on my socials where you'll find more of me. And yeah, I guess I'll see you on my next video.